Hope everybody had a nice Christmas. It's December 26th, and Monday is the official holiday, as Christmas fell on a Sunday, typical to the United States as well. Today I'm going to try not to ramble too much. I know that's a problem, but I'm going to talk about street food a little bit. One of the reasons I ramble is I don't really do notes. I just think about, a topic and then I just do it. I don't want to be staring at notes and that sort of thing, and I'm rambling. Street food. I love street food. I've been to, as I mentioned before, 18 different countries. I've lived in 3 countries outside of the United States. There's street food everywhere. Vietnam was the first time I ever ate monkey on a stick. In Japan, I ate kangaroo. I didn't realize it. I thought that was just a logo on those delivery trucks, but they actually have kangaroo there. I've had all kinds of crazy foods, and mostly delicious. Meat on a stick is something typical around the world, and I just love anything over charcoal. Ecuador is no different. You're going to find meat on a stick over charcoal. But I'm going to caution you about street food. There's no real enforcement of any sort of standards here. When you walk around these almuerzos that everybody talks about, the lunches, $1.75 to $2.50 is the typical price. For a juice and a bowl of soup and rice and some kind of meat and maybe a few veggies, and in Cuenca you even get some sort of dessert. It's a great price. And for the most part, they're pretty good. But you have to be careful. I realize that's not exactly street food, but you have to be careful because of the lack of health and sanitary standards. You have some people that, out of good conscience or education, just do a really good job. You have other people that don't seem to think it matters. Well, if you got sick, it's because you're weak or something like that. I went to a restaurant the other day with a friend, and we sat down, and on all the restaurants you're going to see this little dish of anything from orange to clear but you'll see it on every table's ahi. And it's their version of kind of an onion hot sauce sort of thing. Depends where you go and what it is and how, there's endless varieties of it. So we sit down at the table, and we've got one of the orange ones that's got, I think, a bit of mayonnaise in it maybe. And it's bubbling. Well, needless to say, that's not something you're going to eat. And they put this out, every place does, they put it out, it sits on the table all day long, and depending on what they make it of, that could be a problem. If it's made of lime juice and some hot sauce and some onions, you're probably going to be okay, but a lot of these street vendors, mayonnaise is loved here, and a lot of these street vendors will have mayonnaise, and so you go up and you get a hot dog or French fries or whatever the heck you decide to get, there's going to be a bottle of mayonnaise there. And it sits out all day. And I had food poisoning once for mayonnaise. It's no fun. I was sick for 3 days, thought I was going to die. You wear out a pair of shoes running back and forth to the bathroom. It's not fun. And so be aware. I don't touch those sorts of things. I'm not saying don't eat street food. I'm saying be aware of your surroundings. Mistake I made. Not long after I got here, some friends of mine, local, one person I've known for about 8-9 years, and her family took me to Don Bosco's. It's a street in Cuenca. There's a Super Maxi there, but it's known for having these pig places. Now, I didn't realize, I'd never seen it before, but they have these pigs that they take a blowtorch to crisp up the skin. those pigs sit out all day long, uncooked, just torching the skin. I didn't know that at the time. So we go to this one place, and we had some food, and it was pretty good. It wasn't the best I ever had, but it was pretty good. And I was appreciative that they took me there and showed me. Another time I went to a place with a couple other different people, and it was a different place. It was next door, a few doors down from the one that we went to. And I got sick as a dog. I didn't realize, I wasn't paying attention. We're having conversation. I just, we ordered the food, we sat there, we ate. I was sick for several days. I went back and took a look, and I could see why. I mean, there was the cuy and the pork that would just lay on a dirty floor until they picked it up and started cooking it. Silverware was nasty. The place was filthy. It was a pigsty. The people, basically, it was the sort of thing as I picked their nose and with their same hands, without gloves, it was disgusting. I was ashamed that I ate there. I kind of deserved getting sick for a couple of days for being stupid enough to eat there. Yeah, they got sick too. It's no fun to get sick when it's preventable. A few other things about food. In the United States, we're a little spoiled. You get your fruits, your vegetables. You may wash it, you may not. I often didn't because it's already washed. At least where I shopped, Wegmans, that sort of thing. It's already washed. Here, it's not washed, and you don't know what they're using. Some places use old-time pesticides. Again, different regulations here. The idea when you come to Ecuador, everything's going to be wholesome and healthy, and the food system would be better in the United States because it's not contaminated. It's actually not true. The food system in the United States is pretty awesome. There are foods you don't want to eat. There's HMOs and GMOs and HBOs and I don't know what all, chemicals and modifications and that sort of thing. But there's also organic foods. You can go to farmers markets there and get great food. You can also do that here, but you have to be very, very careful. You don't know what's going to be organic generally unless you do some research. You don't know what kind of pesticides or God knows what they're putting on it. They use raw manure, which carries certain parasites and bacteria. So you really have to scrub your food down. Be careful. There's also a big problem here, as well as a lot of places in the world, with parasites, amoebas, in the food system, on the water, in the water. And they can migrate, the eggs can migrate up to your brain, and they can actually kill you. And they're terrifying and hell to get rid of. So you need to be careful of that. A little tip, I take the seeds of a papaya and I dry them out, I grind them up, and it looks like, and tastes a little bit like black pepper. And I just sprinkle them on my eggs or throw it in a soup or whatever so that I'm getting those because they've got a poison for certain parasites and amoebas. And so on almost a daily basis, I'm having those, that prevention going on. But I didn't when I got here, and I know people that have had problems with this. It's actually pretty common. So you have to learn and adapt your lifestyle. Now, I'm not trying to run down Ecuador. It's a wonderful place. Hell, I'm here, right? I like it here. I choose to be here. But there's no place on earth that's perfect. And when you come here from North America, unless you've traveled extensively, you're kind of naive and susceptible to fall into certain traps. And how food is taken care of and handled, there's too many stories out there about whole food, paradise, the best food and fruit and vegetables on earth, and it's bull. It's it's not true. That's Pollyanna thinking, trying to make it something that it's not. It's good, but you have to treat it carefully, thoughtfully, and pay attention to those sorts of things. Or it can ruin your time here. It can make you sick. You can die. Do some research. Be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you know how the cook is handling food, what kind of food you're getting. Now, there's certain restaurants you don't have to worry about it. They're clean and classy and the food's wonderful. But a lot of these Almerzo, small, every other door has it in their 10 by 10 room and that sort of thing. You don't know what you're getting, so be careful. Happy New Year.